Hey, I'm Mike, and this is our channel, Mr. and Mrs. Two-Wheeler, where we feature motorcycle touring, camping, gear, and travel tips. And we're at TY Park in Hollywood, Florida. And the reason we're here is I wanted to do a video about all the camping gear we use. We've been at this for many years, and over the years we've accumulated a lot of different gear through trial and error, what works, what doesn't work. And we managed to get everything down to a pretty decent size. So let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to be doing an in-depth review on each piece of gear. I'm basically going to just do it in different categories, like the sleep system, the seating, the kitchen, the toiletries, the electrical, lights. But I will do future videos, especially the important stuff like the tent, the sleeping system, the pillows we use, the mattress we use, etc. All right, so the first category we have here is going to be the sleeping. Now, the most important unit obviously is your tent. We're using a Kelty Gunningson 3.3. It's a 3-person tent. I believe this is rated for 3 seasons, not 4. We're not planning on camping in 20 below zero conditions, so it's not really an issue. We've been very happy with this tent. I love the fact that it has the added vestibule in the front. Kind of like an awning, you can use it in case it's raining, and we have used it because we have gotten rained on. You can see our video, motorcycle camping in the rain. I'll leave a link up above. Along with the tent, we have our sleeping bag. This is a Big Agnes, Big Creek, it's called. Great sleeping bag. And to go with the sleeping bag, we have the Big Agnes Q-Core SLX sleeping pad. Now, the sleeping bag and the sleeping pad are both twins. So it's basically one big sleeping bag for 2 people. Same goes with the mattress. It's one mattress for 2 people. Cuts down on our pack size. To inflate the sleeping pad, I picked up this rechargeable pump. Now this is great because it's rechargeable, and if the battery dies, you can also use it plugged in. So you can always just plug it into the motorcycle or a car and still get power that way. So along with the sleeping set, we have our 2 individual pillows. This is the Thermarest. This is the one I use. This is the Nemo. This is the one I just got for Nina. This is based on, again, Tim from 40 Times Around. It was his recommendation. I saw his video just recently, and he was super excited about it. So I dropped the 40 bucks. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. And got her another pillow. She's tried it out once. She loves it. It's very happy with it. Great pillow from what she says. I haven't slept on it, but I'm happy with mine, so there's no need for that. This is the Thermarest. This is my pillow. See, they're very small. It's got its own stuff sack. Just fold it out. It's got this plush material on top. Quick inflate, deflate valve. And it only takes maybe 3 or 4 breaths to fill it up, or in my case, I just use the pump. So that's mine, and this is hers. This is the new Nemo. This is also a very nice looking thing. The thing that sold us on this one, the stuff sack is actually built into it, so you can't lose it, which is great. It's got the same kind of plush material as mine, but the difference with this one actually has a 1-inch foam pad inside, and that's what gives you that comfort. Now, along with that, we also have our seating. Now, we use the Helinox chairs. These are super lightweight, super compact camping chairs. They're pretty comfortable. We've used them at the beach, we've used them camping. They've always worked really well. Over here we have our kitchen setup. Now, I got this idea from Tim from 40 Times Around, so thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate the tip. His idea was to use an old camera case to keep all his kitchen equipment in, and that's exactly what we've done. Wait a second. I just realized I haven't showed you what's inside the kitchen set. I realized it when I got home and started editing the footage. So no worries, I'm at home, got the kitchen set here. I'm going to show you everything that's inside. Alright, so the first thing we have is the Malamute Camping Mess Kit. This is something very inexpensive I just picked up on Amazon. Consists of a frying pan like you see here. And then we have the pot, which is what stores several other things like the soup cup. We have the sponge, use it for cleaning. And here we have the legs. These are the legs that hold up the fuel. Then we have some portable cups. These are good for coffee or cold beverages. We never had any issues with them with anything hot. And then we have the actual pot. This is where we boil all the water. And let me show you our stove and how this works. The legs basically will hold the smaller cans and the bigger cans. And here we have the actual stove. This is Etexity. It's also a brand I got on Amazon. It was maybe 15, 20 bucks. It was super cheap. I loved it for the size. It's super compact. It's like a little bigger than a box of matches. And I've been using it for over 5 years. Haven't had an issue yet, knock on wood. Thing still works great. Never had any issues starting it. It's always started either on the first or the second try. It's very simple. Just screw it right on top of the gas canister. This is the control valve for the amount of gas. Just turn it, give it a click. Starts right up, and then that same control allows you to control how much heat you have. Pot goes right on top. It's great. Haven't had any issues with it. I'm really happy with it. I'm sure you guys are real curious as to what these are. I love these things. These are basically a multi-utensil, I guess you would call it. It's basically a spoon and a fork. They separate so you can have one of each. On the spoon's end, it also has a knife. And it has this little pick. Not sure exactly what that's for, but it's there. And then on the fork, you have a wine opener, cork opener. And you have a bottle opener and a can opener. Alright, and up next we always keep a little bottle of olive oil. This works really good for cooking. What more can you say? It's olive oil. We always keep some hand sanitizer along also right before we cook if we don't have a place to wash our hands. We have a little salt and pepper shaker. And also we always keep a little hand towel inside the kitchen setup in case we need to clean up anything. We want to wash your hands right before and then dry them off. And in this Ziploc, I always keep a couple of spare lighters, and those are cartridges for the mosquito repellent. One of the things you don't want to be caught without on a camping trip. Then we have two little utensils I carry, an extra fork. I use that mostly as a measuring for sugar and the coffee, and then we have the spatula. That's what we use when we're making eggs. And it's also good to kind of scrape off whatever's stuck in the frying pan. These are supposed to be non-stick, but I guess the non-stick part of it wore off. Now this is my favorite little gadget. This is a multi-tool. It's kind of a hammer and a mini axe all in one. We use this basically to stake down the stakes of the tent when we need to, chop up firewood if we have to. I mean, it's not going to chop down a tree, but it's good for little branches, twigs. Got a little screwdriver, it's got a saw, it's got a knife, and of course a bottle opener. And in a pretty compact size. And that's pretty much everything. All right, so that's everything. Let's go back to the park. Now the next thing we have is our lighting. We always bring a lantern and a couple of headlights. And we do have portable flashlights. I usually keep them on the bike. We have the electrical here. I always bring an extension cord because a lot of the sites we have do have power. So this helps me get the power into the tent so I can charge things at night while we're sleeping, or if it's really hot, sometimes I'll bring a little fan. I can run that. And this little gadget's great. This is a little portable charger. It has 5 USB outlets, and I can just plug it into any of the outlets and charge 5 devices at the same time. Usually we'll charge things like our Bluetooths, the GoPro, things like that, our phones. This is another sort of extension. I plug it to the extension cord. It's got 2 more outlets, 3 more USBs. Then we have a couple of miscellaneous items. Here in Florida, we get lots of mosquitoes. I have my mosquito repellent. That does a good job. It keeps mosquitoes away from about a 15-foot radius. We have a little broom and dustpan. Sweep out the tent, get all the debris out before we get in at night to sleep or when we're getting out in the morning. Here we have the Bluetooth speaker. This is a great little device. It's rechargeable, doesn't need batteries. It's waterproof. I can just hang it on a tree or anything else with that little clip. And it's a luxury item, but it's convenient to have. Here we have the OtterBox case. This is a watertight case. This is good if we're ever going swimming, or want to jump in a river for a swim or whatever it is. I can bring the keys and not have to worry about leaving them behind. I always bring a sealant in case we rip anything, we have any leaks. Thank God it hasn't happened yet, but you never know. It's better safe than sorry. Now, on shorter trips or even longer trips, we have this cooler. You didn't see it before because Mrs. Two-Wheeler just brought it back. She was using it actually for some shopping. This is also made by Kelty. It's the same brand as the tent. And it's actually collapsible. So when we're not using it, it folds down and collapses to almost half the size. And what we'll do is we'll slap this on the back of the trunk. We have the rack there, and we'll just put a couple of rock straps over it. And we'll keep frozen things in there. If it's meat, burgers, water bottles, we'll freeze them, put them in here. They'll usually last for a couple of days, and if needed, we can always add more ice to keep it colder. Now, believe it or not, everything that I've showed you here fits either inside or, in the case of the cooler, on top of the Givey trunk we have. It's a 56-liter trunk, so I'm able to fit everything here in that. And then we have the 2 side cases. That's where we'll keep our clothes, toiletries, anything extra that we're taking that's not camping related. So basically all the camping gear in the trunk, cooler on top. We've done it. We managed to get a whole camp set up into one trunk, a 56-liter trunk. So I think we succeeded. So that's the gear we use on pretty much all our camping trips. It's gear that we've accumulated over numerous years of trial and error. And I think we did a pretty good job narrowing it down to what works best and what fits best. Most importantly, it is a motorcycle after all. So we kind of have to be mindful of space. So if you got anything useful out of this video, if you enjoyed it at all, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us to grow that channel. We do appreciate it. And with that said, I'm Mike, Mr. and Mrs. Two-Wheeler, and we'll see you on the road. And we're at TY Park in Hollywood, Florida, and I brought you here because this is a perfect location.
Okay, come on.
Kind of what works for us, what hasn't worked for us. That's wrong. Let's try this again. Quickly. Okay. We'll discuss what we have, what the brands are, and over here we have our camp setup. Everything's a camp setup. Yeah, it's comfy. And then we strap the cooler on top. I'm so distracted right now. And with that said, I'm Mike, and this is really helps grow the channel. Stop it.
What am I doing?
You're making me laugh.
How?
I don't know. Stop it.